you turn me up a little bit?
Turn your headphones up. You already know what it is.
I sure hope so.
Mates and Takes, back again.
Special edition podcast. I don't know if... Oh, I suppose if you're not tuned in on YouTube, you would have no clue.
You have no bloody idea.
Describe your surroundings, Liam. Give them a feel for where we are.
If you've ever been in like a sports club or like a fishing club or any kind of like community gathering where they serve alcohol, you have a good idea of where we are.
Picture in your mind the Gisborne Fishing Club. Just shrink it down a little bit. Lots of sport paraphernalia all about the place. Well, we're sat in the middle of Union. The Don. Here we are. Student bar on campus.
We're in the field.
Here at the University of Waikato. And we're very excited to be here. Elephant in the room. I've got new glasses, guys. And listen, I'm still the same guy. It's just me. I'm not feeling any type of way about it.
What happened to the other glasses?
They broke. And it was from like this pretty intense brawl at the gym.
That doesn't seem right.
I caught an elbow playing basketball as I was dunking on someone, so...
I've never known you to dunk.
I broke them cleaning them. I was cleaning the lenses too.
There we go.
Intensely. You're probably wondering what the hell we're doing at a bar, and it's because of today's topic, which is Lambdon.
Best bars and or clubs of all time, Hamilton edition.
Hamilton edition here in Hamilton. Now, it's going to be a bit of a weird one because...
Sorry, I was just sipping on my apricot and strawberry flavored Red Bull. Continue.
It's not even a plug, guys. He just loves Red Bull that much. It's going to be a bit of a strange one because admittedly, Liam and I don't go out that much anymore. Although we did just this weekend.
We did just go out, but we don't go out.
It was our parents' joint 60th, so we kind of like had to go out.
Yeah.
But we don't go out anymore, and we don't really have a very strong grasp on the current state of affairs. But in terms of all time, I suppose we've got about a decade's worth of partying and heading out under our belts. So that's kind of what we're tapping into, I suppose.
Yeah. We got overlap from the clubs that were available before our time, kind of overlapped into where we were, and then we've seen some after us. So
now, before we get into the meat of it, we just want to, I suppose, touch on some listener feedback that we've been getting. And one comes in from friend of the pod, Josh Noyan. And he writes in, and he has a problem with our last episode, which was anime boyfriends. And he's grumpy that Krillin from Dragon Ball Z didn't get a mention. Liam?
Okay, so why does he think that Krillin would make a good boyfriend?
I think his whole thing was that he was willing to like die for Android 18 and throw down his life on the line.
Okay, so Josh, what actually happened was Krillin was willing to sacrifice the whole universe for the chance of some puss. So that's what actually happened. But yeah, cool.
Some robot one at that. Which is wild.
Yeah.
Not
even a real woman.
Like logistically, we don't even know if it's possible. Although he used the Dragon Balls to sort that one out, didn't he?
Yep, he sure did.
Using the Dragon Balls to service
There were dead people
balls.
at the time, and he used a wish to get himself a girlfriend. That's some loser shit.
Wow, hey, shout out Krillin. I mean, him...
And shout out Josh Noyan, thank you for the feedback.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Krillin still has one of the greatest moments of all time. Like his death leading to the very first transformation Super Saiyan. That was insane. Another feedback comes from Lisa McKinnon, formerly Lisa Sue, who just recently listened to Season 1, Episode 1, which was hairstyles. You weren't actually a part of that episode, but we made the comment that you have to be a hot guy to pull off long hair. And she disagreed, citing one time's Kevin from Backstreet Boys, and one time's Billy Ray Cyrus. Liam?
And I would say that hot guys. Those are hot guys.
Yeah, I push back a little bit, and she thinks Billy Ray Cyrus isn't beautiful, whereas, I mean, he at the very least used to be, right? That has to count for something.
Go back and check the tape.
All right, well, with all that being said, I think we might be ready to jump in here. Let's talk logistics. Let's talk criteria. Was there anything you were kind of on the hunt for?
Yeah, I did. And guys, if you go back and watch previous episodes, guys know that I never pick any kind of criteria, and I really don't give a fuck about that kind of shit. But this one, it kind of just, you have to, because there's certain elements that make up nightlife so much, you know. I'm thinking like overall vibe, staff. Staff is a big one.
Oh, staff is huge because think about the experience of walking into a club. It's like your first point of contact is going to be the bouncers.
You're going to have bouncers.
Holy shit. They can, not only can they make or break the experience, they can also just void your experience altogether by just being like, you can't come in.
If a bouncer doesn't like you, they can just fuck your whole evening up.
100%. We famously, actually, let me just hold on to the story in case the bar gets mentioned, but there's some absolute bullshit that the bouncers get away with, man.
Okay, so staff, overall vibe, people that go to that club, that's a big one.
Yep.
Music,
yes.
and kind of like the logistics, like where it is and how it's laid out.
That was basically my criteria, like exactly. This is what happens when Cam isn't on the pod, bro. We get like some really decent synergy.
And sorry, Cam would be here, but he's actually in Ukraine on the front lines.
No.
Is he not?
No. No, I can't co-sign that one.
Okay.
The only other criteria
Maybe he's just unwell.
Maybe he just doesn't care enough about this shit. But it means something to me, man. The only other criteria I had was ratio. And the reason being, like, you can go out for any reason, but I think maybe one of the leading motivators for going out is to potentially hook up with people. I mean, it's like, it is just
like kiss and hug girls?
Yeah.
Okay, yep.
And hold hands, potentially.
Yeah.
So the ratio of any given nightclub, I suppose we're giving a guy's experience, which is something to remember. But the ratio is worth evaluating.
So, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool.
So, number 3 on the greatest... You know what's so good? Producer Stien can't really hear that well based on the environment. So he's like leaning right in with a little notepad and pen ready to jot down.
He's like a news reporter asking questions back in the day.
He's over here, sir. Is it true? So for all the shit we give him, he actually puts in a lot of work. Number 3, Shenanigans Irish Pub.
Ooh.
Not currently alive, permanently closed thanks to COVID. Did it get a head nod from you?
No.
Okay, cool. So if you just want to start evaluating, really cool bar staff. Never really had too much of an issue with the bouncers there, unless you wear a hat, but that's sort of a standard one. I feel a bit yucky having a John Lawrenson bar in here, but you can't avoid those bars, unfortunately. It was really cool for live music because they would have a dude right, like wedged in between like the window and the bar, and the dance floor would be like right up towards it. So like there'd be a dude on a guitar and you could literally like reach out and like be like, play Wonderwall.
I will say Hospo nights at Shenanigans,
well,
extremely lit.
That was going to be my biggest point, bro.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Facilities wise, they're actually pretty well equipped. So you can go into the front of it. There's like a little dance floor, some seating, like a decent bar. And then if you go through, they've got pool tables, actually decent toilets, which depending on how drunk you are, is probably not going to matter that much. Decent toilets, booths, live sport, So facilities mean, and yeah, my biggest thing was going to be hospo night. Like if you've ever worked in hospo, or you're just like so deep into your student alcoholic phase that you need to go out on a Wednesday night. Tuesday, Wednesday?
Something shit like that.
It's like fucking pumping. Like that one bar in Hamilton might as well be like on a Saturday night. It is so ram-packed. People are getting so fucking out the gate. I think I went to like a Christmas hospo party there one time. Shit is so lit, man. It is like crazy. I don't even know. I wonder where that place is these days. I wouldn't know.
Shenanigans?
Yeah, like the place where people go for a hospo night.
I think it's house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's house.
that makes sense.
What is Shenanigans now? It's like a restaurant or something, yeah.
It probably is. I don't frequent like town during the day to know. And if you're there at night, you don't even, if something isn't open, it's just like deleted from your mind. You don't care about it.
It's all a dream. You don't even know. That's a solid number 3.
I remember a very good friend of mine, Tom Bell, he tried to get, well, no, he didn't try. It was like a mission of his before he moved to Europe to become part of the Guinness Club. And you have to like have bought at least 100 Guinnesses.
Yeah.
I thought it was like the fucking weirdest thing ever that he was like determined to do that. But that's another thing to put towards the Shenanigan Irish pub.
Yeah, I went into a bar in Hamilton and they have something similar, and it's just, I think it's just beers in general. And I was like, oh, this guy's got like 100, and she's like, look at that guy, and it's a guy with like 3,500. And I was like, is he here like a lot? And she's like, yeah, every day. And I was like, man.
I mean, you want to think about like the pub culture over in the UK. It's like really, it's like you finish work and you go hit the pub. I don't know how anyone in the UK is like in any kind of good shape for the amount of like
They
beer
aren't.
they do.
They aren't. Some of the worst looking people in the world are in the UK.
Holy shit! There goes a couple million potential listeners just deleted.
I mean, I don't think I'm touching on anything new here, but
yeah, and I think for me, Shenanigans was just always a great pit stop in any night out. Like it was just on the main street, so you could pop in there, have a little boogie, buy a couple shots, and keep cruising. It was great. I really like Shenanigans, so I think it deserves a place at number 3, and I'm glad you're okay with it.
yeah. Okay, so would you like to hear my number 3?
Yeah, of course.
So my number 3 is the Outback Inn. So a couple of key points right off the bat. Chill bouncers, like pretty chill, easygoing bouncers, really.
Are you being sincere?
What? Clean toilets, state-of-the-art clean toilets. Friendly bar staff that are definitely enjoying themselves while they work. You know what I mean? Like you're having a good time because they're having a good time.
Stien's freaking out because Nexus has a lot to do with the Outback. Who fucking cares, bro? No one listens to this podcast.
Yeah, what did I say? I said only good things. I said only good things about the Outback Inn. And if you guys want to go and investigate if those things check out, that's up to you. So yeah, that's my number 3.
Well, actually, from a marketing perspective, Liam hasn't really done anything wrong here.
I haven't.
I tell you what. So, the Outback isn't on my list, but and honestly, I think the reason me and you feel some type of way about the Outback is based on our age. But when you're 18, 19, first year, second year, it is like the best club in Hamilton.
Oh yeah, when I was 18 years old, I thought like Outback was the coolest shit ever.
And it's because it caters to that age bracket. It plays the type of music you want. And I think the biggest thing is if you go out, everyone your age is also at the Outback.
It's like
you're always going to go there on a night out if you're that age. So you're bound to, see.
It's like in its final form at the moment, but like when it was in like first form freezer, like when Outback was, when I first went there was like this weird like corner raised stage bit, and it was like you'd go there and like you'd be up in the corner and you're like, ooh, like making moves and shit.
I would always end up in Outback quite late into the night and just being like, what the fuck am I doing here,
It
bro?
was
Just
like-
getting mad at myself.
It was like the last, like the Hail Mary type shit. You're trying to like get a girl.
Like to hold her hand.
Yeah.
Well, back when, I was at university,
Go for ice cream with her.
potentially go on a date to a dairy and steal some stuff.
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
No.
Weird. Back when I used to go out, like student night was Thursday. I assume it's still the same deal, but that like Outback would be one of the only places open, so it would like always be a staple. So actually, you know what? Shout out to them for staying open for those nights, because I mean, fuck yeah, you need that when you're a student.
What's your number 2, bro?
I'm annoyed because I wanted to find a way. Do you remember P-Lab?
Yeah.
So if you guys think about where you line up to go into Outback, just like literally opposite that line, just like a chunk of where Flaunt, Hamilton's only free strip club.
You talking about Route 66?
Yeah, no, there's Route 66, and then you go through to Flaunt.
Oh,
if
God.
you want to go to a free strip club, which I don't think they realize, but that's not like a selling point for anyone, I think. Anyway, there used to be this tiny little bar, and it would literally just be a bar with like 2 seats and some toilets, and you could just buy shots. They only sold shots, pretty much, I think.
Yeah.
And it was super cheap. There was
Or
no
like
bouncers.
like teapots or some shit, eh?
Oh, it was just like the bare bones. Anyway, sorry, that's not my pick. I just wanted to give a shout out to P-Lab. My actual number 2 pick is Wonder Horse, which I'm going to assume you have in there.
I don't.
Oh, true. Okay, I'm really glad. I don't know if we're gonna have. I think we'll
I
have.
purposefully picked other ones so they would be different.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I picked some of mine. Wonder Horse, current it spot in Hamilton, little cocktail bar. If we're talking about staff, like top tier, like really cool bouncers. The actual bar staff are pretty cool. There's a dude who like always has his hair braided into 2 ponytails, and he's got this long beard, and he always makes bomb cocktails. If you're listening to this and you're a student, I don't know if it's really going to tick too many boxes because the drinks are expensive and there's nowhere to dance. But as you transition in your like nightclub outgoing phase, it's a really nice spot, and it's like got a cool mix of people. So you'll get like corporate, like kind of dudes blowing some steam off Friday after work, but then you'll also get like some skateboard kids that are there hanging out, some artists, and then like us at the top. It's just a really cool vibe. Really cool music. They have a vinyl DJ, and he's just posted up in the corner. And I think the reason I have this at number 2 is it's currently one of our favorite places to go to. So I feel like we needed to shout out probably the one spot that we would always hit if we go to town.
Good toilets, which is like pretty important in town. You know, like they're like, it's like you get a whole room for like the toilet. You know what I mean? You don't got to go in like a shitty little stall or something. You just get like a whole room to go toilet in.
Because you're notorious for taking really big fat shits in town, eh?
Me?
Yeah.
Not me, mate.
Me, sir. The reason I had this at number 2, alongside the fact that it's a big favorite of ours at the moment, is it's kind of like you're tricking yourself that you're not in Hamilton when you step into it. It feels like this weird little cocktail bar that could honestly be somewhere in Auckland or Wellington. It's kind of like out of place, but like also not so much these days. I think like Hamilton in general, especially the CBD, is getting way cooler.
Do you remember? Yeah, I fully agree with you on that, on how it like doesn't fit into Hamilton. But do you remember Grand Central Station? Like behind house?
Yeah. Did you have it? Do you have it?
No.
Fuck, I really like that place,
That was
bro.
mean, bro. I remember that shit was gangstered. My number 2 is like, it's like half a meme, but it's half not. Bar 101.
You're going to have to explain this one.
Yeah,
to me,
sure. So like pretty normal people that went in there. Psych. Obviously like fucking weird ass cunts in there. But like, okay, so God tier photographer, Dallas. Dallas used to be the photographer there.
Yeah.
And then actually like some of the people who worked there were like good cunts. Like some of the people behind like in that like and they're like a little outside weird little bar bit.
Yep. Yeah, the smokers area.
Yeah, in the smokers area, how there was like a sidebar, and remember, like sometimes it just like randomly hook you up and shit. Like I like knew people who knew people, and I'd get hooked up, and the music was pretty chronic. The music was like Darude Sandstorm and like Hey Macarena and shit. But
Also, like, were we even complaining back then?
I mean, I have probably like one of the worst interactions with a girl I've ever had in town in that club. I was like, let's go dance, and she's just like, okay, let's go dance. And then I'm pretty sure like some song that you just could not dance to came on, and I was just left like frozen, like going red on the dance floor, like, oh, I don't know how to like pull this off. And she's like, I gotta go. And I was like, yeah, all right.
Damn.
But no, I just had like really fun times in there when I was like just fresh 18. I remember I would go in there and I would just see so many people I knew.
I'm not really sure if this is still a thing because we all kind of live on Instagram and TikTok far more than Facebook these days. But back in the day, you would like be super keen to see if you were in any town photos on Facebook.
Yeah.
And Bar 101 was one of the best spots for it. And you'd like, your mates would tag you and fucking dog you if it was like a real shit pic. Because like most of the time you're pretty pissed when you're getting these photos taken. But I remember you'd walk in and there would be like TV screens with just slideshows of all the town perks, and every now and again you'd be like, oh fuck, that's me.
Town used to also like have a different vibe when I first started going out. You had to wear like business shoes, you had to wear like a shirt, and you would not get let in if you didn't have like the proper dress code. Now town is like a fucking cesspool, you know, you can just do whatever the fuck you want.
I think it all depends on the different clubs, but yeah, it was this weird thing where maybe, yeah, it was just a thing of the time. Like, you would wear, like, a button-up shirt and, like, fucking, like, leather shoes. What the fuck? Just going out looking like absolute shit.
Yeah.
Just fully destroying your swag.
Do you know when the Mount, you can just, like, go to town and then, like, shorts?
Can you really?
Yeah, you really can. I was in the Astrolab, and this dude was wearing shorts. I was like, what the fuck? Are you allowed to wear shorts? He said, yeah, most bars here you can. I was like, what the fuck?
Calson, my good friend, he's actually lives in, well, at the time he was living in Whangamata, and he came and visited, and he was like in shorts, and he came out for like a beer at like, you know, one of those just, I don't know, chill bars or pubs. It just like we were drinking outside, and then we went to try like get into a club, and they were like, no. And he was so pissed off. And it's like, well, Calson, you're in shorts, man.
Word on the grapevine is quite fast at a 100-meter sprint. Old Calson Simonson is.
Yeah, he's been known to beat his missus.
In a race. Pause. That was crazy.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to add a comma there.
What's your number one?
That's a great question. What do you think it is? Because I think you'd just be able to easily guess.
Static?
Yeah.
Well, we got the same number one.
Yeah, we got the same number one.
Yeah, well, let's just both chip in on it then.
Yeah, to me, this was like such an easy pick. I
think we got like different reasons for it, because I got like my own personal reasons for this spot.
Yeah. I think we're super biased because we got to know a lot of the people at Static really well, and it was like our regular spot for ages. And it's funny, I've seen shit like that Nexus has put out, and it made me realize that if you're not, if you weren't like a Static regular, you'd see it from this point of view. It's like everyone that goes there are just these little fucking gremlins. And like I totally get that, because you got to be prepared to just get pretty fucking sweaty at Static. So like really, really, like I would put legendary staff. Like,
oh yeah,
they might have had a couple bad egg bounces every now and again, but it would only be a case of like they didn't realize you were a regular, so you'd just be like, I'll let it slide this time.
I don't want to have to talk to someone about this.
But like really cool managers, like bouncers, they would be like chill outs, and like the owners were like the coolest people ever. Just like happy ass for you to be there, and just good drinks, like a mean bar setup. We should say that Static is no longer like technically Static, but it is still Voltage. It went from Static to Candy to Voltage.
Yeah. So just still the good vibes, but I guess just like Like the clubs go through like the phases of like which is the coolest club to go to, and like I remember vividly when I first started going to town, that was one of them. Static was definitely one of the coolest places you could go to.
I mean, yeah, like that, it was for us, right? So at the time, at the age, and like when all your friends are going to the same spot, it makes a big difference, I think. What else you got for that?
Yeah, like when I first started going to town, obviously Oliver's 3 years older than me. If you guys didn't know, I know I look older than him and cooler than him and handsomer. But
I agree with one of those points.
He is older than me, and when I first started going to town, Oliver knew everyone there, and like it just seemed like every time we went there, we would like get in for free, or we could like go like kind of into some like a VIP access area or some shit, or we get free drinks, and just felt like the coolest shit ever when I was 18.
Are you thinking of Back Bar or Static?
Both, but like Static for sure, Static.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Because Back Bar was cool, we got all that same shit, but it wasn't as cool. Like it was Lawrence owned, you know what I mean? So it was kind of just.
That's my like real big thing is they are anti-Lawrenson group. They are like the correction of like the mutated virus takeover of the nightlife scene that has been ongoing. And I mean, the bro's just a businessman. It's whatever, but it's cool to see some different flavors out there.
Yeah, for sure.
That was a huge thing.
Just independent owners doing their own thing in the nightlife scene.
I've got like very, very good vibes. It's worth pointing out, pretty bad ratio, like in the grand scheme of things. And like you'd go from like girl to guy ratio, but also like fuckwit ratio would tend to get like super high if like a certain gig was on or at like a certain time. But like I think Static at its peak was like kind of maybe around like 11, 12 o'clock. You could still be outside. You'd be like stealing someone's vape and like having a drink and catching up, and then you could go inside when the main gig was starting and then just get like a little bit crazy.
Best times I've ever had in Static, and also like most people I've ever like slapped or punched is also in that club. Yeah, I've got written down like owners cool as fuck, good music, like the best music, you know what I mean? That was a huge thing.
Well, so that is the reason I have it number one is like the greatest is if I just read you like some of the gigs that we went to or that were there, so like Brooke Gibson, Sin Howard, even like a double collab show, Latu, Wax Mustang. They had Alice in Wonderland before she really fucking popped off, and most notably Jesus and the Mandarin. Do you remember that gig?
Yeah.
Oh, and Kilter. They actually opened for Kilter. Very cool Aussie artist.
I remember that gig, yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
That was Oliver and Isaac Lyon DJing.
Oh, what? Oh, yeah. I'll never forget thinking that like DJing a gig was like one of the coolest things I could have ever done. And then with some perspective, I'm like, oh yeah, everyone's a DJ at some stage.
Yeah.
At some iteration. It's like when you think you could be like a rapper or like there is some occupation that either you miscalculate as like being a possibility for you, or you like underestimate the coolness of it, or overestimate, I should say.
Seriously, 100%, 1000% seriously thought I was going to become a rapper at one point in my life.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Why don't you spit a few bars for the people?
I'd rather not.
I'd rather die.
There's a reason I'm not a rapper to this day. You know, everyone's got...
Man, shout out
fuck.
Static. You know, they...
Shout out Static.
The reason they went through a big rebrand is because COVID, basically. Yeah, I mean, COVID would have hit all the hospo places ruthlessly hard. Should we quickly rapid fire some just like places that we fucking hated?
Yeah, okay.
I don't think... I want to be careful. Because I don't want to like... No, actually, we don't even do hate. Just like some cool little
Bahama
spots.
Hut was filthy.
What was that place? Tiger something?
Oh, Easy Tiger was dope.
Tiger.
Easy Tiger
They
was
used to
sick.
have one of the best dance floors. It was like all light up. Maybe they've repurposed that and put it somewhere else. That was fucking sick.
Very loose with letting people just kind of use their bathrooms for kind of whatever. We'll just leave it at that.
Let's just leave it at that. If you need to wipe your butt, wipe your butt. What's that karaoke place we went to on Saturday?
I don't know.
Bro, okay, so like just before you hit Subway, if you're kind of heading towards Hood Street, and it's like, it used to be where like Monkey Feather, for all my Monkey Feather enthusiasts are. It's like, it's where that club is, where you walk down into it. It's like a karaoke bar where it's just, they pass the mic around. And it was fucking outrageous, bro. We went in there because we thought it'd be crack up. Straight up, they are letting anybody in. Like if you're a cop and you're listening to this, fucking, I'd say 50% of that population was under 18.
Fuck, bro. There was some mongrels in there, eh?
And
yeah,
we all got a round of vodka cruises. It was like the most crook fucking thing ever.
Fuck.
Yeah, I want to talk more about Grand Central Station. That was such a fucking good little...
That felt like just like you were just tucked away in a little, like, no one knew about it. What was that other place where they just did teapots?
Are you talking about the one down near like where Browsers is and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, Nitro,
yeah.
that was a cool little spot.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're throwing it too far back for any of our... most of our listeners are our mates, so they fucking know what we're talking about anyway.
Navarro Lounge is cool.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. And Access, shout out to Access. Jack just wanted us to shout it out. It's not there anymore.
Yeah.
Outback absorbed it.
Yeah.
But, also, Agenda.
Yeah, Agenda was cool.
All right. Well, why don't we invite in Stien, who I'm hoping has, I guess, been to most of these bars, pubs, has some idea. Or you know what? It's even better if he hasn't, because he just has to go off of what we're saying, right? Maybe give him a cheeky unmute and pull his shit up. He must be the muted one.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, boy.
G'day. Welcome in. Oh, hang on. It is that one.
Oh, am I
Yeah,
live now?
you're good.
Okay.
You're good.
Hello.
Howdy.
I'm slightly lack of hearing, so before I get into this, could I please verify your picks?
Yeah, sure.
So we've got Shenanigans.
Yeah, so I had Shenanigans number 3,
Yep.
I had Wonder Horse number 2, and I had Static number 1.
Perfect. And Liam?
I had Outback number 3, Bar 101 number 2, and Static number 1.
Okay, wow, we've got another draw. We are correct in that. For the top. For the top, I couldn't quite break down what I liked the best from both of you. Some great stories there. However, let's start with round 3, shall we? Now, let me warn you, there is a bias to this round. Maybe a slight bias to the whole thing here. And that is because I have a co-worker who I work thoroughly with, who used to work with the Lawrenson Group. And she's a... So... she'll never hear this, but I'll tell her about it anyway. Anyway, so... as I was establishing... we've got Shenanigans here, right? And we've got the Outback Inn. Now,
That's right.
which bar do you think my co-worker works at?
Oh, yeah, Outback.
The Outback, yeah, for sure.
Absolutely, you're correct.
Yeah, cool.
Now, I'm going to give Shenanigans this one as a win because they also did karaoke night.
Oh,
And
yeah, nice.
that's actually the main reason that won for me. Because when you went to Shenanigans and you did karaoke night, it was really, they don't care. Get on the stage, sing. And it was just, I don't know, it hit. It wasn't always too crowded. You can get a drink, you can get a seat.
Yep.
And you
Outback
know-
Inn,
Yeah, you know what? I actually forgot about Shenanigans, and honestly, I probably would have picked that one if I had
Yo,
thought of it.
there you go.
Easy, easy. And Outback Inn contains my coworker named Lara. It contains just lots of great staff, as Liam has said. Everything Liam said is quite accurate.
Chill,
I will say.
enthusiastic, happy staff.
Yeah, we might as well say it. We're never going to fucking go in there ever again, are we?
Yeah.
Right, so that's the vibe winner on that one there. Now, round 2, we've got Wonder Horse, which I accidentally wrote as One Horse because of that lack of hearing over there.
No, that's all good.
That's all good, man. Have you
No.
ever been?
No, I have not actually.
Oh, okay.
So I had to get some input from my cameraman over here and editor.
Shout out to him.
Soundman. And
Shout out
everything else
J-Mon.
that I'm not. He's busy writing
Shout out
notes.
JSAC.
Okay. Here we are. So round 2, we've got Wonder Horse. Couldn't hear you there, sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
We got Wonder Horse versus Bar 101.
Yeah.
All right. Now,
Is-
after
is-
all of the thinking and thoughts on this one? Myself and my cameraman here have come up with Wonder Horse being the winner.
Yeah,
Okay,
nice.
that's fucked
And I've
up.
actually just learnt where my cameraman is slightly biased for Wonder Horse as well. I think he spends all of his time at Wonder Horse.
That would make a lot of sense. You,
Yeah.
you feel like I feel like
I'm
you'd
sorry,
suit Wonder Horse.
Wonder Horse
mean,
is it's better than Bar 101, but I mean Bar 101 doesn't exist anymore, but it was.
Oh, is Bar 101 closed now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
There's one in Auckland, I think, that exists.
Have you ever been to the one in Auckland?
Yeah, I have.
Oh yeah, I have actually. Yeah.
It's like 3 stories, isn't it?
Yeah, it's much nicer than the one in Hamilton.
Yeah.
Well, we had one, yeah. You ever been to the one in, is it Otago?
No.
Nah.
I'm not sure where it is. There's someone down in the south somewhere.
Yeah, I think
Probably.
you're right. Yeah.
Right, and then the last round, we've got Static versus Static. That's a snowball draw in that round. And for the winner of this whole entire show, I'm going to give it to Oliver. Oliver, you sound like a great night out, like a bit of a planner, right? But like a bit of a planner. Liam is like the wild card when it goes to night out.
Well, yeah.
You don't
that
know
is
what you're
super
getting.
accurate.
Probably that's
no?
pretty true.
The amount of trouble that
I'll
this
tell you-
man
I'll
has got me in.
I don't
So
know about that.
that's what I like about Liam.
No, but I
always brings something strange and great to the table.
I'll tell you this: Oliver's a good person to go out to town with. He's always before town. He's got good music. He'll play good drinking games, and then he knows where to go in town. And everybody likes Oliver. He's a well-known character, so he's a good person to take you out. I am also fun. We might just get into a fight though, or we might just get into a bit of trouble. So.
Liam pretty much shares most of my qualities that he was describing. It's just he's a bit of fucking, an Uno reverse card. Like if anyone ever like bumps Liam, he will just be like, okay.
Not like that. Not that slight, but I just, if you know what I mean, if someone's gonna like step on my shoe on purpose.
What? Oh, remember that time we were at house and that dude, Liam was just like, there was this, we won't name any names, but there was this girl who was just like annoying Liam. She was trying to talk to Liam and Liam was just like, I'm not interested, like for whatever reason. And then her guy mate like came up behind him and he was kind of leaning over the walkway and just pulled him over and like ripped the whole back of your t-shirt off.
He just like grabbed my collar and just like ripped my shirt open. I was just like, what the fuck?
And then we were like, guess we're going home.
Yeah, I was like, I'm off.
Yeah, well, you don't have a fucking t-shirt anymore.
Yeah, so that was chill. And the bouncer was like, it was my fault. He was like, get the fuck out. And I was like,
Yeah, bro. One thing I want to
without
do
a shirt.
is I actually want to shout out House. House is probably, from what I can tell, one of the better bars, especially like, I think if you're over 20, 21.
It's a middle ground bar, say 20, 21 or 20.
Yeah.
But it's a middle ground bar. If you're too young, you can't get in. But there's never too many old people, in the nicest way to put it. It's like a middle ground of like 21 to like 25 are there.
Yeah. And like they've actually had some pretty cool gigs. They had like some Georgia Femme summer gigs, which were really cool. Some of the bouncers there, and I haven't been out recently. There was a bouncer that worked at House who like pinched a friend of mine's like pants to just check what material it was made out of. He was wearing like chinos. the bouncer like pinched it and went, too springy, man. Like too like whatever the fuck you'd call it. Like, oh yeah, no, too stretchy, can't come in. And my mate was just like, awesome.
yeah, I've gotten a couple of like about to walk in the door and just a couple of like stiff arms to the chest and be like, oh, yeah, your shoes are borderline. I'm like, okay, so can I come in? And they're like, yeah, I'll let you in this time. So I'm like, so they're passable. So they're all good then. So what the fuck are you talking about?
All right, we should just end the pod before we really start.
Hold on. Before we end the pod, I know all the listeners out there, they want to know what Cam is like in town.
He's basically got 2 settings where it's like if you go out, he's like he's such a good time. Like he's very level-headed. He'd never ever get into any problems.
Yeah.
He just likes to dance if he gets to a certain level.
But definitely got your back. Would never start shit, but definitely got your back. Type of guy.
I don't even know if he would. I think
you
he's
say-
like
I think
an
he would.
actual coward.
Would you say he's like the mother of the group? Always keeping everyone hydrated?
No, he's just like an integral part. He doesn't necessarily lead, but he's just like down for whatever. But then there's like the Cam that just doesn't make it to town because he projectile vomits across like a door because he ain't built like that anymore.
It's fair.
Not everyone's built like that. Not everyone's built like me.
And we're gonna fucking package this clip up and post it and fucking tag Cam.
Cam, I love you. Goodbye.
See you next time, guys.